All right, what's up? I got no selfie stick, but I really want to give you guys a message. I see everybody responding to the YMC freedom movement, and I appreciate that. Our community needs it. Our people need it. America needs it. The world needs it. But I want to elaborate on it and make sure my message is crystal clear, right? So if you go to joinymc.org, you're going to see Free Yourself, right? A 44-minute video I did elaborating on frequently asked questions, a lot of backroom discussions that are had within the black community, white community, all communities, just things that we just don't get out in the open. And that's kind of the whole mission or premises of the freedom movement. Is like, let's free the conversation, right? So, and I want to start first and foremost and say, the YMC movement, the freedom movement, Jay Morrison, the Jay Morrison Academy, anything under the Jay Morrison brand is non-biased, is non-racist, is non-spiteful and hateful. Like, we don't play that. Like, I come from good morals, good integrity, character, leading by example, being a new role model. So when you see me talking about the advancement or independence or freedom of black people, it is never a diss towards white people or white Americans. I say my white brothers and sisters. I got black brothers and sisters. I got white brothers and sisters. I got Christian brothers and sisters. I got Muslim or Jehovah's Witness or Buddhist or whatever brothers. I'm a equal rights, human being, loving type of person. So I want you all to understand, who are following me, this is our tone. This is not the I hate white people movement. This is not the racist movement. This is not the it's none of that. My issue, and I'm going to keep, and I want you guys to spread the message for me, please. Do not get this screwed up. This movement is about love. It's about empathy. It's about compassion for all races. It's as simple as this. When you think about the Holocaust that the Jews went through in Germany, right? I think like the 1940s, whenever that was, right? The whole world was in an uproar because how crazy this Holocaust was, that Hitler had the Jews enslaved, that he was killing them, he was experimenting on them, he was experimenting on their kids, right? So these were heinous human rights violations, heinous hate crimes, right? So I feel like, if I was born then, I would have wanted to revolt and help the Jews as well. And the Africans were also being slaughtered and captured by Hitler and the Nazis as well. And so my point is, in America, for some reason, it's this stigma that the crimes committed against my ancestors, black people, were not as vicious, were not as heinous, do not deserve the kind of world uproar that the Jews suffered, or the kind of reparations or repair that the Jews got, or the Japanese Americans got, or the Native Americans got. Facts show that African Americans and African descendants haven't gotten any kind of aid, restitution, reparation, or repair from the American government that kidnapped them, captured them, conquered them, brutalized them, raped them, enslaved them, and then let them go, so to speak, right? Unenslaved them with the 13th Amendment, but only, now read the 13th Amendment. The slaves were freed from enslavement, not from the capture, but the slaves were freed from enslavement unless they committed a crime, which meant they went to prison and then enslaved. Again, 13th Amendment, I didn't say this, the 13th Amendment does. Then the 14th Amendment says that the Africans are freed, but only under the citizenship and subject of American authority, of the American government, who was their capturers. So what I'm saying is, I'm not mad at white people. I love white people. We need white people, and Spanish people, and yellow people, and Asian people, and brown people, and red people. We need all people to understand that we're all humans. And the crimes committed against my ancestors and the crimes that are still committed today towards the descendants of African Americans, like what we've seen with Walter Scott being shot in the back, and with Mike Brown being gunned down with no weapons on him, right? He could have been shot in the legs, he could have been tasered, he could have been all kinds of things, but shot in the head and everything else. With Otis Bird being hung from a tree in Mississippi, with Oscar Grant, with Eric Gardner being choked in front of us on camera, and dozens of other instances that I could go on for days of just not police brutality, but government injustices, stop and frisk, mandatory minimum sentences, where guys go away for more time in prison for powder cocaine than child molesters get for ruining a child's life. It just so happens that most of the cocaine dealers from the 80s, when these laws were made in the early 90s, were African Americans. So all these aggressive laws were made to put African Americans away in prison. But yet, for more heinous crimes, where there weren't mostly or majority African Americans committing these crimes, there were lesser sentences. It's not white people. I love white people, YMC. Our members are also white and black. It's not a black thing. But our cause, our movement, our mission for freedom is for freedom for the black people who have suffered this oppression. We all should be furious over this, no matter what color that we are. Be honest. Black people have not had the same go in America as everyone else. 250 years of enslavement says that. Another 100 years of Jim Crow and segregation and oppression says that. The fact that blacks were not allowed to be educated for almost 300 years, illegal to be educated, says that blacks have not having a fair go in America. And the American government condoned this. And they did nothing about it upon our unenslavement. Nor did the American government release blacks to their independence. They only unenslaved blacks to be paper citizens under the same authority of their kidnappers, the American government. This is an American government black people issue. This is not a white-black issue. This is a human rights issue. It's not a civil rights issue. It's about human rights. And all those who want to protect and preserve human rights throughout the world should rally with us, the YMC Community Coalition, as we fight for freedom for the African descendants here in America, as we fight to represent our ancestors who got whipped and chained and feet cut off when they tried to run away, and families broken up, and women raped, and kids molested, and kids killed, and fetuses torn out of our women. I'm not trying to be dramatic. I'm just trying to give you guys the experience of our ancestors and the trauma and vestiges of those experiences and the residual results of those experiences that are passed down to my generation today. It was hell for us in America. In many cases, it's still hell for us here in America. There's a talented tenth of us who do well, who start businesses, who create empires, who have the luxuries of this freedom of this great country, who has been not so great to my ancestors and my descendants. So, our freedom movement is about getting uncomfortable, calling these issues out, stop sweeping them under the rug. Black America's 250-year plus Holocaust does not deserve a sweep under the rug. It deserves more than a 2008 apology from Congress over 150 years after the fact. Slavery, our Holocaust, our oppression, our torment psychologically. We have to be mentally free. Financially, we couldn't own businesses. We couldn't own land for hundreds of years, people. That's a major setback. All Americans, all global citizens of all races, of all colors, should want to fight for this and rally for this. It's not a race war. It's not a race issue. It's an American government that's not being called out the way it needs to be called out. They were dead wrong for the treatment of my ancestors and have paid no kind of penalty, restitution, or consequence to their human rights violations, human rights crimes, moral crimes, Christian crimes. There has been no punishment. There's been no repercussions for the American government's crimes against our people. There's been no freedom for the African American people. We were kidnapped in Africa, captured, brought here, and only released to citizenship with no choice of where we can go. That's not right. That's not freedom. That's a kidnapper allowing a captured person to go work and prosper, but only under the authority of that kidnapper. The American government partook in, they funded, they conspired with the kidnapping of Africans here in America. There were 4 million left when the unenslavement ended. Those 4 million Africans had nowhere to go, no education, no land, and no businesses. Yes, we are a resilient people. We have climbed up to fend for ourselves pretty damn well. But we need the whole world to rally with us to see that we need freedom mentally, we need freedom financially, and we need freedom physically. Physical freedom meaning freedom from the American government to be a self-determined people and have freedom of our own, to run our own government, our own system as the self-determined people we were before we were captured. Very simple. This is a human rights issue. I need all of you to rally with us. For my followers, don't poke at white people, our white brothers and sisters. To my white followers, and I'm going to say my followers, meaning majority of my followers are minority or African American. To my white, Caucasian, European American followers, don't feel offended. Don't feel embarrassed by things that your ancestors did. You can't control what they did. We're here now in the present day. But what we can control is a call to action to rally together that we hold the American government accountable for crimes much equal to what the Jews suffered from Nazi and Hitler. Much equal, and I would venture to even say greater, just by the time period of infliction being 20 times, literally. 12-year Holocaust times 20 is 240 years. That's not even the amount of slavery. And it's not a who had a worse thing, right? I'm not trying to divide us. I'm just saying, let's all be real and rational about it. I'm a rational, logical person. Everyone is desensitized. Everyone devalues what slavery did to black people. We act like, oh, it's nothing. It's over. It was 150 years ago. And we move on with our merry lives and make all these great Hollywood movies about slavery. But we don't get the effects that it has in slavery. Why blacks can kill blacks so easily is because blacks were devalued in front of blacks as chattel property and their lives weren't valued in front of each other. Why blacks have horrible family structures these days. Well, it was hard to have family structure when you could be auctioned and sold off into slavery. All these things did make a difference, people. Let's be real. Let's be Christian. Let's be Muslim. Let's be Jehovah's Witness. Let's be Buddhist. All those religions practice peace, practice love, practice mercy. Let's be spiritual. No religion involved. The universe, the spirits, they have to tell you in your heart that this is dead ass wrong what black people have been through and it's not done. It's not over because the government says it's over. It's only over when we silence ourselves and our voices are silent and we allow ourselves to be silenced. So I say freedom. I say justice for all, including African descendants. We are not worth less than any other race on this planet. And I ask for all my global citizens of every age, race, religion, or creed to rally with us as African Americans seek out our independence and our true freedom, our mental freedom, our financial freedom, and our physical freedom. And we cannot be free under the forced authority of our ancestors' original capturers, kidnappers, and conquerors. That's fact. And if you're not feeling me, there's something wrong with you, not me. And I love y'all. This is YMC, the Freedom Movement. Understand what this stands for. Peace.